Sure, and I'm recording now.
Cool. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Got to do that. And welcome to the Agri-D Food Hack. It's an exciting time. It's the first hackathon we're doing in line with the convention. It's the first hackathon with all of the new IOTA protocols. So it's a really huge opportunity for us all to learn and build some amazing things. This event is it's not just about food. It's about bringing people together and providing everybody with an opportunity to explore DLT technology and how we can use it to help support the future of our food. Now, we're here to explore the tech as well as to meet new people. But one of the most amazing things about this weekend is the people. It's bringing together leading experts to work alongside normal people like you and me to help us understand how we can build with blockchain and DLT technology across a number of different areas, whether it's smart contracts or digital identity, encrypted data streams or IoT. It's just an opportunity for us all to learn. And I think that's really important. Where we've put our focus on for this hackathon in particular is obviously the future of our food. We all know these crazy statistics that 1/3 of food is being wasted around the world, but yet we produce enough food that could feed everybody. And while developed nations are wasting food, developing nations and rural communities are kind of living in need. So we have to rethink our food systems. And that's essentially why we're here today, to challenge ourselves to think outside the box, to come up with new ideas and concepts that can use the latest innovations that DLT provides, which can have a lasting impact on the future of our food. As I mentioned, we're joined this weekend by some amazing individuals from world-leading organizations with representatives from the IOTA Foundation, from Hyperledger, and also the UN World Food Programme Innovation Accelerator, who are on board to share their experience and insight into the tech, with exclusive live workshops and sessions, which can really help all of us understand how accessible this technology is. On top of the organizations, we've also got people from the industry, so domain experts like myself, Gianfranco Campos from Zigna, and a few others. So there's something new for everybody here this weekend, and I'd encourage everybody to open up your minds and connect, reach out to each other, even just reaching out between teams, meet new people, network, build these future relationships, and learn from the mentors who will be supporting you all weekend. I think probably the most important thing is to enjoy yourself. Like it might seem like it's a competition, but it isn't a competition. We're all winners here. We're all coming to learn. We've got two amazing technology stacks from IOTA and Hyperledger, and yeah, it's going to be an amazing weekend. Before I go into all the details of the hackathon, the format, and everything, we're joined this morning by Dominic Sheena, who is the founder and chairman of the IOTA Foundation. Dom is, like me, super passionate about supporting the development of open source technology that can empower solutions towards ecological and social development. And he's a dedicated leader as well in the IOTA community. So, yeah, so I'm going to hand over to Dom, and he can share some amazing inspirational insights with you now. Hey, Tom.
Yeah, yeah. No, first of all, early morning, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining, and thanks a lot to Adam and Meryl for organizing this hackathon and the event. I think this is definitely one of the first ones that we've been doing in, I would say, over a year, right? And I really love your definition that everybody is a winner here, because this is not a competition. I really think that hackathons are a way for us to experiment and just to have these exciting jam sessions where we throw around crazy ideas and try to realize them, right? So I think, as you said, everybody here is already a winner just by participating. And for us in general, hackathons are really an important way to connect with the community and allow the community to connect, right? To build crazy ideas, but to also think about how we can use technology to solve problems. And I think this is really what unites us all here, where we think that IOTA, that distributed ledgers can really help us solve fundamental problems, right? Around food supply chains, around distribution of food, digital identities, and so on. All of us believe that technology is here to solve it. And I remember doing my first hackathon, I think it was in 2015 or so, where we were faced with the same problem, right? Like, how do you actually use smart contracts to solve problems? And then you sort of get into this mode where you look into how the existing system works, right? And for example, back then we built the cargo chain, which was meant to make trade more transparent by logging all of the audit trails and all of the interactions. But it was started by thinking about the problem. And the problem that we realized is that trade today has still, like, I don't know, 80 different documents, physical documents that need to be signed and shipped around the world. And obviously here's where technology, in particular, blockchain and DLT, could help solve those problems. And everybody here is here to solve problems, right? We want to solve problems that we face today, and we want to use technology to solve them. And I think that's truly exciting. And I would say that there's nothing more empowering than being able to build an application and to see it be adopted. And I'm really hopeful that all of the tools, all of the dApps that are being built by you guys over the next few days, that they will really also have an impact long term, right? So I also encourage you to look beyond just the hackathon, but really think about how you could even pursue this as a startup, or pursue it as a dedicated project that you bring to life, because that is what we're here for, right? We want to have an impact, and we want to have fun during this hackathon. And if you have any questions, if you need input on ideas, on business models, on implementing stuff, always feel free to reach out to me. I'll also be on Discord. And I would like to ask a famous question. How do you actually pronounce biddle? Anybody knows that?
I think it's just biddle.
Yeah.
Huddle
Yeah.
and biddle.
Huddle is a lot more smooth than biddle. Yeah, no, but again, thank you, Adam, for organizing this, and I'm sure that we'll have some fun, and this will be the first one of many, right? And you've spent a lot of time organizing this, and I think it will be a big success, and will get us all into this biddle mindset that we need.
No, thank you very much, Tom. Yeah, I completely agree as well. I mean, this will be the first of many. We always have to start somewhere, and the technology has come so far in this past year. It can be overwhelming to developers, because what they were developing with a year ago is completely different. And having events like this, opening up the technology and sharing from the expert perspective of the developers who've built it and the community developers who are using it, it really opens up that accessible nature of the technology. So events like this are really going to help expand both the IOTA and the Hyperledger ecosystems. So yeah, it's the first of many. Cool. So thank you very much, Dom. And like Dom just said, everybody who is involved, from the IOTA Foundation, from Agri-D, from Hyperledger, we're all here to help. We want people to use this technology. We want people to make a change. We want people to build and understand how you can use this for social, ecological good, and to build these businesses, these startups. It does go beyond these 3 days. These 3 days are just this foundational step into the world. So yeah, reach out and ask questions. So yeah, I'll give you a bit of a lowdown on the format of the event now. Everybody should have registered by now, which is great, and you will have had your teams. Meryl's going to talk a bit about the Discord server in a minute. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so essentially we've got 2 technology stacks that you can use within this hackathon. We have the IOTA stack and we have the Hyperledger stack. There are mentors to support you with each of these technologies. And at 10 o'clock in 40 minutes, we will have Holger from the IOTA community, from the IOTA Foundation, sorry, and Arun from the Hyperledger community, who will be doing introductions to the technologies, the wikis, the documentation, the repos, and how to navigate the technology and find what you need. So you've got that support from the start. And for each of those technologies, we're looking at 3 different developer tracks. So each team has the option to choose between either of these technologies, and then to focus on a different challenge within the food and agriculture sector. The 3 challenges we're looking at are sustainable agriculture. So using any form of the technology that can create a solution that can support more sustainable agricultural practices across any number of global agricultural systems, whether it's indoor agriculture, outdoor agriculture, grain, animal farming, right down to like opening and closing gates for security of animals and safety and things like that. There are so many opportunities in that space. And as we did previously mention, we've got domain experts like myself, like Gianfranco, who understand the industry, the agriculture, the food side of things. So if you're unsure about the domain, just reach out. The second challenge would be rural development. So as I previously mentioned earlier, 40% of the world works within agriculture and food. So it's a very, very human-centric industry. And this 40% contains the majority of poor people in the world. So these solutions can be community-focused solutions that can empower and bring value and support to rural farming communities, whether it's providing digital identity, or whether it's providing access to markets, or creating new value within the agricultural food system, whether it's a data marketplace or something like that. Anything that supports community and rural development really fits in that section. And then the third track is food waste. We're all really aware that 1/3 of the food produced on the planet is thrown away. And this challenge is about building solutions that can offer practical answers in reducing food and product waste within agriculture and the food supply chain. When we say the food supply chain, it's huge. It's anything relating to food. It's not just what happens on the farm. It's the packaging, it's the processing, it's the speed of transit, right down to the IoT sensors systems in refrigerated vans that transport the food, all the way down to when you take that apple off the shelf. So the food waste can be applied anywhere within the system. So Yeah, those are the challenges. And what we expect from teams, the deliverables, shall we say, um, is really simple and straightforward. We've tried to make it as easy as possible for everybody. I've created a couple of document templates, so you don't have to worry about creating and designing things if you don't necessarily have those skills within your team. Excuse me, I really need some water, but I haven't got a glass. So the first deliverable is a project and team overview. It's a short 1 or 2 page document, which is outlining the project, the challenge, the solution, the technology you're using, and your team members. We've got a template over in the resources section of the server, so you can have a look at that. And also there's a pitch deck presentation sample for you to use as well. It's a clean and simple pitch deck of various different slides which outline the project and your team and the product, which will go towards a presentation, which is another one of the deliverables. So the presentation is probably one of the most important aspects after what you actually create in the code. So be sure to think about it before you do it, and focus on the key aspects: the problem, the solution, the product, and the team. I will be doing a presentation or a session workshop on pitching tomorrow, so you don't necessarily have to think about it immediately, but have it always there in the back of your mind. Then the final deliverables are obviously the code and the prototype MVP application or tool. We need access to a fresh repository that contains the project. This repository, well, let's just say repo because I hate that word. This repo should be a freshly created and contain all of your work over the weekend, so mentors and jury members can have access to evaluate your skills and also how you work together as a team as well. And then you will demo your prototype or your MVP application in your presentation. So that's the basic overview of that. How we'll mark these submissions is based on 5 different criteria. Each of the judges will mark you individually, so it's not judging as a group. And then those results will be tallied at the end, and the finalists will be announced on Sunday evening. The criteria we look at are the completeness and the technical quality of the solution. So that's one of the most important ones. So how you've gone about completing the product in this short space of time, and then the quality and the uniqueness of the solution. So whether it's been done 100 times before or whether you've come up with something new and innovative. And then the relevance and the potential impact of the solution. So whether you've understood the challenge and whether you've really thought outside the box and you've created something that will have impact in this space. Then the last 2 are team related. So it's the domain knowledge of the team, how well you've understood, whether you've reached out and asked questions about the industry, about the sector, about how our agriculture and food systems work. And then the final one is the team dynamics and the management of the project, because as I mentioned before, we're here to connect, we're here to work together. And that's a really, really important part of the process in building, is how you work together, how you solve problems together. And then once we announce the finalists on Sunday, then the finalists will have the opportunity to present in front of a global audience at the Agri-D convention next Friday on the 12th of November. So you will present live to a global audience of world-leading experts and industry specialists from global organizations, international tech companies, whether it's the UN World Food Programme or the World Trade Organization, EIT Food in Europe, or IBM, Red Hat, Linux, Hyperledger, IOTA. All of the leaders in the space are going to be at this convention talking about and discussing solutions for agriculture and food using DLT and blockchain technology. So this presents an opportunity that goes beyond this weekend, which is absolutely amazing, because it's great that we come together and we hack, but the future is what we're hacking for. And taking these solutions beyond the hackathon, it just makes it so much more valuable and presents so much more opportunity for everybody participating. We've got a lot of stuff in the Discord server which can help you, and I think I'll hand over to Meryl now, who can give you a bit of an introduction to the server, and then we'll have a little chat from Arun. Meryl, do you want to talk about the server, please?
Sure. Thank you very much, Adam. So the server is divided into several categories, as you might have seen. Let me actually screen share to explain it a bit better. I'll share one of my other screens here. And yeah, so the server is divided into several categories. We have the information board, where you can see the rules, you can read all the announcements, and we have resources channel, which has all the useful resources, and we'll keep putting stuff here if there's anything more. Then we have the general tab. Now this is where you can interact with the community regardless of whether they're participating in the hackathon or not. You can chat to mentors, jury, or literally anyone that you feel like talking to here. And anyone who's a guest can also access this, and there would be certain private channels. So this is a channel for you to network. You can introduce your team here. I would actually request all of you to please go to this channel and introduce your team, and you can introduce your project ideas, and you can engage with the matchmaking chat. Next, we have the IOTA channel. So this is for when you need any help related to IOTA specifically, any technology, or you want to interact with the mentors or talk about the tech. So you can go here and you can do that. Next, we have the Hyperledger chat, same as the IOTA, and here you can talk to anyone regarding that. And then there are certain private channels, and then you'll have your team boards. And if you have not been allotted your team boards yet, please make sure to run the .allocate command in any text-based channel that you have access to. And the bot looks up in our database for what username you've registered with, and it allots you your team board. If you're having any trouble or you need any help with that, please DM me or DM Adam, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So this is the Discord server in a nutshell.
That was super fast. Short and sweet, just the way.
Can I just say how fucking amazing it is to be able to organize the hackathon like this? That's really nice.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, Meryl and Danish have set up this server, and it is absolutely incredible. We've got bots that automate everything, and everybody gets their own private space, and all of the roles are automated. So kudos, Meryl and Danish, for putting in all of that effort. Events like this are amazing because it shows people want to help. We're all doing this as volunteers. Like, there's no money in anything like this. It's all about bringing people to together, connecting. And like Meryl said, it's really important to connect between teams as well. Help each other, learn from each other. If you're unsure about one area, another team might have experience in it, and you might be able to work together to build two even better solutions just by speaking to each other. And I think that's really important as well. Also, at the top of the Discord channel, there's the agenda. So there's a section called events, and there's 14 events, and these outline each of the individual sessions that we have over the course of the weekend. So we're currently in the first session, and then at 10 o'clock today, we have the introductory sessions from Holger from the IOTA Foundation, who will introduce you to the wiki and the GitHub, and Arun from the Hyperledger community, who will share information and introductions to the Hyperledger wiki and GitHub. There's some amazing sessions coming up later today as well, with Yele Milner from the IOTA Foundation providing a talk on digital identity. We have the UN World Food Programme, Kyriakos Kouparis, who's the head of innovations, will be talking about how the UN World Food Programme can support innovative projects, what they look for in innovation, and how project managers, developers, and just groups of people who want to build can gain support, funding, and also exposure on the global stage. And then after that, we have an amazing talk from Eric Hopp, who will be talking about smart contracts, as well as David Boswell, who's the director of ecosystem at Hyperledger, who will be talking about how the Hyperledger ecosystem works and how the community there can also support projects moving forward into the future. And then later this evening, we have Gianfranco Campos, who's the CEO of Zignar Technologies, who will be doing a specific domain talk on the use of blockchain and DLT in agriculture. Then tomorrow we've got more highlights and insights. Valerie Grappendorf is an amazing user experience designer. She will be talking about application design and the tools and guidelines you can use to really speed up that process, as well as more tech talks from the IOTA sector, with more Zignar Technologies guys talking about the IOTA streams, encrypted data streams protocols. And I'll be doing an evening session for you all about pitching and how to build that perfect pitch, how to keep it concise and to the point, and just get your message across, basically. And then we move into Sunday, where you'll all be crazy building and finalizing things, because that's how it always works. But yeah, remember, we're all here to reach out to, from both IOTA and Hyperledger, and from the convention. Speaking of Hyperledger, we're also joined this morning by Arun, who is a community developer and an industry domain expert as well, working with Walmart. And Arun will give you a bit of an insight into what he's looking for and what he feels you might be able to get out from a Hyperledger perspective. Arun, are you available to talk?
Adam, thanks. Yeah, I can speak, and let me know if there is any disturbances, or probably we have another session on Hyperledger separately where I'll go in detail on how exactly you can find different resources, different community members, how you can reach out to them and get answers to some of your technical questions. And it's not just the technical questions where you can where you go and ask. So Hyperledger is a in brief, Hyperledger is foundation under Linux Foundation, right? It's like an umbrella of different projects and working groups and special interest groups. All the open source enthusiasts, they get together and try to solve a particular problem statement within the special interest groups, and the working groups, they focus on solving technological aspects of some of the problem statements. And then we have projects, multiples of them, each focusing on different way of working. Within the projects, we can categorize them into tools, libraries, distributed ledger technologies. It's all that you want to regularly build a solution. Quick introduction about me. I'm Arun, and I guess as Adam said, I work at Walmart as an architect in blockchain team. And from that, within Hyperledger community, I'm one of the technical steering committee member, and also I co-lead Hyperledger India chapter, which is their a regional chapter in Asia Pacific. So that's a brief about me. And so for me personally, I'm very much passionate about food and agriculture and what the value DLT technology or any technology for that matter brings in to these solutions, right? So I'm personally connected with a couple of folks who have their own industries working on social good, the rural development, as well as on the agriculture and then helping out the farmers. So consider this hackathon to be an opportunity where you can build a solution which otherwise generally is not. So there are certain community aspects that we never reach to them in terms of monetization. Hey, I have a solution, but really helps improving certain aspects of our society, but I did not get a chance to work on until now. Consider this as such an opportunity where you can really make a difference, and if things work out well, then within the community there are so many eyes that are looking out for these solutions who will be able to sponsor you further in taking it to next level from here. I'm personally looking forward to seeing the amazing projects that come out of it. And don't stress yourself in terms of getting too much to work on, or it's just a short deadline which you need to achieve. Don't worry about all that thing. Feel free to reach out to anybody you feel like. We're all here to help you out, and we'll all work with you to get the final solution. I hope that was informative. And in the next Hyperledger session, I'll probably go detail in depth into how exactly you can find different resources and reach out to some of these community members I was talking about. And
That's
thank you.
No, that's perfect. Thank you very much, Arun. And it's going to be really important for everybody these first two sessions, because these are going to be the most informative in regards to accessing the technology and the help. Both Holger from the IOTA Foundation and Arun from the Hyperledger community will be sharing high-level overviews of everything. So it really gives you a broad insight into the opportunities as well of the technology. So the wikis, the repos, and how you can access this information, and especially the documentation, which is of course very important. So yeah, I mean, these sessions kick off in 20 minutes. I'm going to open the floor if anybody has any questions. If not, then I want to just finally say, enjoy yourselves. Like, we're all here to have fun. Hackathons are about having fun. Yes, there are prizes at the end of it. We have 6 finalists who will all get prizes, and then the 2 winners will also get additional prizes and support. But this support is universal as well. There will be open community support for everybody afterwards if you want to take your projects further, whether you want to open source them or whether you want to take them on and build something, a business or a startup out of what you create in the future. So yeah, I'm going to open up the floor if anybody has any questions. If not, it gives us a nice little opportunity to have a break, grab a coffee, and then come back for these sessions in 15 minutes. The Hyperledger session will be on the Hyperledger stage, and the IOTA session will be on the IOTA stage. So does anybody have any questions? No? Awesome. I think we did a good introduction then, if there's no questions. Yes, so as we've all said, we're here to help, and we're here to have fun, connect, ask questions, and enjoy yourselves. If anybody has anything, you can always reach out to myself, Meryl, Arun, or excuse me, or any of the IOTA or Hyperledger team. So yeah, grab yourselves a coffee, and we'll be back at 10. And keep those questions coming. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.